Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me again today. I'm working on another entry in my 30-day Bob Ross inspired landscape challenge. What I'm working with today is my favorite art supply at the moment, Caran Neocolor II water soluble wax pastels. And there are so many reasons why I love this material. So I'm going to talk about the advantages of using the Caran Neocolors and how easy it is to create a quick and a fun and a loose drawing that turns into a painting when you add water. So I hope that you'll stay with me to the end, and I'll show you my inspiration photo again, side by side with my finished landscape. How I start usually with my landscapes when I use my Caran Neocolor II is I start with the basic outline drawing. I'm just getting the general large shapes together for my landscape. I like to choose some different colors, and I really just do a lot of scribbling. I like to start very light, so I don't add a lot of color, and I like to really quickly move around my landscape. I did this particular sketch in 2 minutes. I'm using mixed media paper for this, and I do have the edges taped down because once I start to add water, the mixed media paper will start to buckle a little bit, and this keeps my paper flat. I'm using a water brush, which is a brush that actually has water in the handle, and this helps me to work a little bit quicker, and I think it also helps me loosen up a bit. So as you can see, as I add water to my drawing, it is dissolving the Neocolor II wax pastel, or you could call it, it's really a water-soluble crayon, and it's turning it into a watercolor-like paint. And it's very easy to move the color around, and as I mentioned earlier, I started light, so I treat this as I would any watercolor paint. I start light and I get darker and add layers as I go. I'm mostly doing this challenge just to really encourage myself to create more frequently. It had started as a 30-day challenge, but it's taken much longer than 30 days, so I'm not always able to paint every day. But by using the water brush and the Caran Neocolors, I can just sit down really quickly, get my tools, and get started and finish in 10 minutes. And I'm finding that the looser and the quicker I work, the more I'm enjoying the process. When I first started this landscape challenge, I was trying to be really more realistic in copying the reference photo, and the farther along I go, I realize that I enjoy it much more if I'm just really being looser and quick and adding my own interpretation. I started this challenge also because I wanted to improve my skills. And although I think I have improved some of my skills with using this particular material, the Caran Neocolor II, I've also learned a lot as far as some of the different properties of the tool, but this process has really turned into more of a relaxation process and a way to manage my anxiety and help with my mental health. So again, by being quicker and looser, I'm trying to put less pressure on myself to create the end product and really focus more on the process and enjoying moving the color and the materials around. And I often listen to some classical music, and it's been really enjoyable the longer I go and the looser and more expressive I get with my paintings. And I'm also happier with the end result when I just try to think a little bit less and try not to worry so much. So once my first layer was dry, what I'm doing now is I'm coming back in with the Neocolor II crayons again, and I'm picking up some different colors, and I'm starting to add some more detail as far as value and shadowing. I'm adding a little bit of the rocks and the dirt along the edge of the creek or the river, whatever you might call this, and I'm adding some green to the hills along the water. And I'm moving forward, just really how I did my initial sketch was I love to do a really light, loose scribble and slowly build my color. If you're new here to my channel, I just want to thank you for joining me. My name is Kathleen, and I'm a teacher and an artist. And right now I work with aging adults. So I work with adults that are over 60, 65, age range is the whole way up to late 90s. I work at a continuum care senior living community, which means I work with individuals that are still living independently, and then I also work with seniors who are in assisted living and those that are also in memory care. So I'm just going to continue working on my painting, adding details slowly as I move along, and activating my crayon with water and allowing it to dry and adding more layers. So I'm going to just play some nice relaxing music. I hope that you'll decide to paint along with me.